Hi, everyone. It's A Ticket to Christ. Thank you for tuning back in. We are focusing on gratitude this week. And every day we're just pointing to one thing we're grateful for. And I encourage you to think through your day and just think about, what are you grateful for today? What are you, what comes to mind? Even one thing, it can be a small thing. Today, I'm just grateful for people who are righteous. And I'm holding up a type today. It's in Jeremiah 38 from verse 7. It's this Ethiopian eunuch. His name is Ebed Melech. And Ebed Melech, Jeremiah the prophet was thrown into like a dungeon or a well and left to die there with no water. It was a dungeon. There was no water. There was mire. And so Jeremiah the prophet sunk in this mire. And in Jeremiah 38 from verse 7, it says, when Ebed Melech the Ethiopian, one of the eunuchs which was in the king's house, heard that they had put Jeremiah in the dungeon, the king then sitting in the gate of Benjamin, Ebed Melech went forth out of the king's house and spoke to the king, saying, My lord the king, these men have done evil in all that they have done to Jeremiah the prophet, whom they have cast into the dungeon, and he is like to die from hunger in the place where he is, for there is no more bread in the city. And so if you read on, and I encourage you to read the whole account, because of that, because of him, because he made the appeal and interceded on behalf of Jeremiah, Jeremiah was removed from that dungeon, right? He was pulled out. And so he didn't die there. And then later you see in Jeremiah 39, as you read on, toward the end, it says here, Now the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah while he was shut up in the court of the prison, saying, Go and speak to Ebed Melech the Ethiopian, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will bring my words upon this city for evil and not for good, and they shall be accomplished in that day before thee. But I will deliver thee in that day, saith the Lord. And thou shalt not be given into the hand of the men of whom thou art afraid. For I will surely deliver thee, and thou shalt not fall by the sword, but thy life shall be a prey unto thee, because thou hast put thy trust in me, saith the Lord. So because Ebed Melech put his trust in God, he was righteous and he saved God's prophet. Of course, Jeremiah was still put into prison, but at least he was not in this dungeon sinking in mire and foodless, right? God rescued Ebed Melech when disaster came on the land. And if you read the whole account, you'll see why Jeremiah was put there. It's just a lot of corruption that was happening. And so in the midst of corruption, when you see someone act in integrity and in fear of the Lord and in righteousness, and because of their actions, because of their integrity, a righteous person goes free, or the truth comes to light, and people whose reputations or lives would have been damaged, they're freed because somebody acted in integrity. And so I am grateful for people like that. People who do the hard things, who speak the truth when it's hard, who have integrity when it even costs them material things, but they stand their ground with integrity. These are the types of people, I think, that God's eyes are on, and he looks at them and their reward is in heaven. They're not going to go without their reward. And I don't even think they have to wait a lot of times till heaven. God has his hand on them and he's going to help them. And so for anyone that's like that, anyone who tries to live a life that treats people with kindness, with compassion, that even if it costs you, even if you're shunned by the bigger group, but you are still merciful, compassionate, and kind because of your reverence for God, your respect for human life, your reverence for others, I think that that's what keeps this planet thriving, in the sense of the grace of God, you know, resting heavily on those types of households, you know. And so you can think in mind somebody who did you a kindness. And there's so many people who have been kind to me throughout the years. Someone waiting with me. I went to buy a car a long time ago, and she, you know, I dropped me off to get the car, and I thought she had left, but no, she stayed because it was pouring rain. She stayed in her car watching to make sure, and she was with her kids, make sure that everything was okay and that I was safe. And when I realized she did that, I cried, because I did not know that someone was that, you know, would do that kind of thing. And she wasn't even doing it to be seen. She did it quietly and calmly. And those types of people like that, who do the kind little things, the smallest little things, you can have a big impact on the hearts of others. Just really softening them or helping them to see a different way, and having a tremendous type of impact. So I'm just very grateful for people like that, and I'm sure that's you, you who are listening today. And if that's you, don't give up. Don't get wary of doing good. Don't get wary of being kind, of having integrity, of thinking that it's of no use maybe and nobody sees. God sees you, and God will reward you. And trust me, they see, and it will make a difference. Maybe not right away, but at some point in their lives. So beloved, that is it from me, just holding up, you know, just grateful for righteous people with integrity today. Have a great day. Take care.